Alright, so your second part of your careers project will start in this module using Microsoft Word. You will begin by going through the module. Make sure that you read the content of your module before you get started on your project. I want to tell you a little bit about your project. You'll be doing a cover letter from your job search that you did at the beginning of this course using the Ferguson Career Assessment. You'll take that information from your job search and complete a table, and that also is due February 28th. So what is Microsoft Word? If you were going to explain that to somebody, you probably would say it's a word processing program that you can use to do many things. So you can type a Word document, a letter, or just create a flyer. The main thing I want to tell you about this is that there are many toolbars in Microsoft products. As you can see from the illustration here, there's a title bar, and the title bar usually tells you something about the program you have open and the name of it. Right, you have a menu bar, a standard toolbar, a formatting toolbar, and at the bottom you have a status bar. So let's talk about those bars. The title bar lists the name of your document with a period and .docx, and that docx means that it's a Microsoft program. It was created in Microsoft Word. The DOC is from the old version, so if you had a document and it was .doc at the end, that's from an older version. Every version of Microsoft Word since 2007 ends in docx, so you know that's the most updated version. Next, your menu bar, and this bar displays the heading for each drop-down menu. So you'll see there are going to be some drop-down menus, and we'll look at that a little closer. Commands are grouped under each of these headings, so it all depends on where you're clicking on the course, whether you highlighted a picture or if you highlighted text, your menu bar is going to change based on that element that you've highlighted. Your standard toolbar contains shortcuts, and some are the most frequently ones that you use, and you can also edit your commands. You can add more or take away some that you don't want to use. And your formatting toolbar contains shortcuts for some of the most frequently used commands found under the Format menu. And like I said, it depends on what you have highlighted or selected as to toolbar you're going to have active. Okay, you can select any one across the top, but if you're looking for a particular one, for instance, if you're highlighting a word in your text, you're going to get the text editor. It's going to pop up. If you're highlighting a picture, you're going to get a picture toolbar. And your status bar is something you should always pay attention to. Your status bar tells you how many pages are in the document. It tells you how many words that you have already included on that page or within the document, and also gives you various views, and that's at the bottom of your screen. And so at the top of the Word interface is the title bar, and all the Windows applications have this title bar. It acts as a reminder to the program that you're using and shows a little bit of the document as you named it. Also, if you've never named your document, it would always have the document 1 or document 2 or document 3. So if you save your document without naming it, it will have a default name of document and whatever the number in that sequence. Okay, so it's always good for you to put a title on your document. In the upper right-hand corner, for those that are not familiar with Microsoft products, you have 3 buttons. The little flat button is the minimize button. It's a flat line. The middle button is the resize button. So if your page is minimized, it says, oh, you can make it bigger. So it gives you 2. If your page is full, you'll only see 1 square. But when you click it, you'll see the double square. So it says, okay, you can make this bigger if you want. And then you'll see an X at the top corner, and that's used to close the program or close the product that you have open, or that page, or the document, or whether you're in Excel or any other products. All 3 of these emblems will be up at the top right-hand corner for you to use. All right, so you have the standard menu bar, and sometimes your menu bars will seem like they hide. You may have auto hiding automatically selected on your computer, but if you hover up around the top of the page, your toolbar will show again. Okay, so if you have the auto hide, it hasn't really left you, you just hit it. Okay, looking a little closer at the standard toolbar, you'll see that you have a lot of things that you're going to use all the time. The first one is like a new page. The other one with the folder down that says you can search to look for a document to open. The next one, saving your document. And more information about each one of these pieces you'll find in your book. And so make sure that you're looking at your ebook and open up a Word document on your computer and just hover over these and explore them. Okay, so your next line of you're going to have formatting. So whether you're going to pick the type of text font you want, whether it's Times New Roman, Arial, you select that down arrow and you'll get more options. The next one, the same, is for changing the size of your font. You have to have your fonts highlighted on the page in order to really see those changes. If you just didn't have anything highlighted, you won't see the change until you start typing. Okay, you can make it bold, italics, or underline. You can change your justification. You can change and add bullets or indentation. And so you got things that go across the standard formatting toolbar. Right, and this is your status bar. It has to be all the way at the bottom of the page. So this is some of the things you can see when you have it open. And there are other things. This is just a sample because when you really have a document open with content, information at your status bar will tell you something different. All right, so we know now that depending on what you have selected will depend on which one of these toolbars across the top are activated. Home has a lot of basic formatting in the file. That's where you want to go do extra options or save or share. But typically you want to be on the home page because there you can copy, paste, and do many other things. Earlier we talked about looking at your drop-down menus. Your toolbar that has a drop-down, a little arrow pointing down. If you click it, it gives you other options. So those are little menus options. Take for instance in this font group. We call that a group because there's many things you can do with your fonts. So at the bottom, if you click that little arrow that's pointing down, it gives you many more options to choose from. So you'll be using that throughout learning Microsoft Word. You'll use these down arrows. So I want you to be familiar with them and start exploring what they mean. So you see you have formatting options and you have tool options. Now I want to transition over to talk to you about not being able to see content when you select a page in My IT Lab. Depending on the browser you use, sometimes pop-up blockers is automatically turned on, and pop-up blocker blocks our course. So therefore, you're not going to see things that you click on if you look on your address bar and you see a red slash going across the HTTPS. That's an indicator that something has been blocked. And Firefox, if you're using the Firefox browser, they have a shield up there. So if you're clicking on something that's not working, make sure you look in your address bar. If you see a red X or a red slash or a shield or something indicating that you've been blocked out of your site, you'll never see it. So you have to know how to turn off and activate your pop-up blockers. You want your settings to say allow pop-ups. Okay. Right. I also want to remind you about your Symbaloo. The Symbaloo is located in your resource tab. And your Symbaloo has many things about Three Rivers, about working in Blackboard, as well as at the bottom you'll see things on My IT Lab information. Make sure that you explore them. All you have to do is click on one of those. They're hyperlinked to different information. The three at the top right, the far right, they connect to Google. So if you have a Google account and you have Google Docs, or you want to do a notepad, or you want to take some put some tasks in there that you want to remind yourself to do, that's all selected and associated to your Google account. You would have to select it and then sign into your Google account, and then no matter where you are, on which device, if you have Symbaloo downloaded onto your system, you automatically have access to everything you need all the time. All right, so just a reminder, we're using Microsoft Word. We finished this module February 28th. Make sure that you pace yourself because it is going to be here before you know it. You have 4 chapters to do. You have an assignment inside my IT lab, and you have an exam. So either you're going to do the test out. If you do the test out, you don't do the 4 chapters and you don't do that exam in chapter 4. So if you're going to do the test out, make sure that you take a little bit of time and go through some of the training to familiarize yourself. Make sure you do that. Don't just jump right in there. You have to make an 80% to successfully complete a test out exam. If you don't get an 80%, you can try a second time. After the second time and you don't make 80% on that test out, you'll need to go ahead and go through the training and do the exam in chapter 4. All right, here's an example of what you're going to turn in. And this one does not have your picture on it, but where you see a picture on this page, you're going to replace with your own picture. So it should be a picture of yourself. Across the top, it should say your name, right? Your name, apostrophe S, job, whatever the name of your title. So this is your address listing. So when you did your job search, you found some addresses, a phone number, contact names. That's the information you're going to fill in to complete this. So where it says Stephen Colbert, it's going to have your name. And then it's going to say my top job. It surely won't be a host of late night, but whatever your job title. So if it's nursing, it's going to say my top job is nursing. And then you're going to fill in this, you're going to create a chart of that information and then save it. And that's what you'll upload into Blackboard. The other thing you're going to upload into Blackboard is a cover letter. So this is really what your cover letter is going to look like, except it's going to be your information. Now you don't have to put your correct address or your phone number. We're not interested in that part, but you do have to fill in the information. So you can definitely make that information up. But as far as filling in and how you use the bullets and how you apply the formatting, that's key to passing this project. Okay, so when you click on the assignment in this module, you're going to see at the very bottom of the page 4 files that are attached. And what I've done, I've attached some things to try to help you create these documents and be successful. Okay, so the first one is a checklist. So when you click on the career assignment and it ends in a .xlsx, that's an Excel file, that's a checklist. So you download that, and as you complete the task, you check it off. The next one, the Colbert job table, is an example. So it really is the same thing we just did on the previous page, where you're going to have your picture there and the name of the jobs that you picked. That's the job table. The next step is the PDF that actually shows the table with the highlighted steps. So this is what you're going to get on that one. You have everything highlighted telling you what you're supposed to do, and these are key components. You should learn it as you go through, but this is just there to try to help you. Okay, so, and this is an example of the checklist that you'll download, and you will just check off that you completed it. So it's going to help you with better time management and know where you are in case you need to stop and do some other activity or assignment. You can come back and pick right back up to where you left off. All right, if you have any questions about doing this assignment or working in my IT lab for this module, you can always use that help or answer discussion that's in our course. Okay, the project consists of 2 uploads. You're going to do the cover letter and the table chart with your picture and your names of your jobs and contact information. Right? All of these are due by February 28th.